For this effect, I would explain to the participant that I would like for them to take their deck, bring it under the table, spread through the cards, move any card to the top of the deck, turn that card face up, and then cut it somewhere into the deck. So let's say the participant does that, and then also bring your deck back out once you have done that and set the cards down as well. So let's say they go and do that. So they bring their deck under the table, they spread through, they move one card to the top of the deck, they turn that card face up, and then they give the cards a cut. And then they bring their cards back out onto the table. While the participant would be doing that, I would actually be doing the same thing. So I would bring my cards under the table, spread through, move one card to the top of the deck, turn it face up, and then cut it somewhere into the deck. And then I could bring my cards back out onto the table. So my job here for this effect is to see if I can get both cards we brought to the top of the deck, turned face up, and cut somewhere into the deck to actually be matching cards. So like two Queen of Hearts, two Ace of Spades, just something like that. So let's go ahead first and see what card the participant actually turned face up. And you can also see that all of these cards are face down. So there should be one card face up if the participant did this right. So in this case, you can see that the card the participant was able to turn face up is the Two of Hearts. Now, if I actually did my job correctly, that means the card I turned face up and cut in the middle should be the Two of Hearts. I could then have the participant go through the cards and see what card I turned face up. So they spread through, and in this case, they see that I also was able to find the Two of Hearts as well. But that's not the end of the effect. Let's take this one step further. For my deck, you can see all the cards are white. That is why the 2 is the only black backed card. And for the participant, they had the black deck, which is why they cut to the only white backed card as well. And that is the effect. If you would like to learn how this is done, please stick around for the tutorial. Before I get into the tutorial, the cards I am using are the black and white Star Wars cards. I have a deck review on these. I will link that in the description. So the first thing you're going to want is two decks of cards, and you also want the cards to be roughly the same. So you want the same back design and you want the same so the same back design or front design, I suppose, and the same back design, except the colors are different. So you don't want any of these pips to look different. You want them to look the same, really. And I have a video actually on decks of cards you can buy together that look just like this. So the back is the same, the front is the same, but the color is different. So after you have those two decks, you are going to go ahead and decide on what card you want to force on the participant. In this case, I chose the Two of Hearts. You're then going to switch them. So the black card is going to go with the white deck, and the white card with the black deck. You're now going to want to decide on what deck you are going to use and what deck the participant is going to use. So, the deck you're going to use, you're just going to take your card, turn it face up, and just leave it right in the middle, just like that. And that is your only setup. For the participants deck, you're going to have their card face up, but second from the bottom, and that is the setup there. So one more time, for the magician's deck or your deck, you're going to have your two of hearts face up somewhere in the middle, but it's going to be a different back design. For the participants deck, their card is going to be face up second from the bottom. So there's a random card right underneath it, but it's a different color. And now you are all set. So I go up to the participant and I pick up my deck, and keep in mind that my deck is going to have the card face up in the middle. I explain to them, so what you're going to do with your deck is you're going to spread through the cards, stop, move any card you see here to the top of the deck, turn it face up, and then cut it into the middle. And you really want them to do that. So they're going to use their deck, and because their card is second from the bottom, they shouldn't go to the bottom either. And plus, you show them just spread through the cards, stop, and then take out a card. So, but you're going to have them do this under the table, just because if they turn the card face up, their card would be the ace of spades, but you're going to put the two of hearts for them. So under the table they would go, they would spread through, move a card to the top of the deck, turn it face up, and then cut the cards. And what this does is move that 2 from the bottom to the top, and then it puts that one indifferent card face down in between. Now, while the participant is doing that, you tell them that you, the magician, you're going to do the same thing. So when you go under the table, you're not actually going to do anything because you're already set up. But because you're under the table, and plus they're distracted with their deck, they won't even know it. So you can hold the cards under the table however long you think it takes for you to do this, but do it with both hands, and then you can come back out. You can say anything you like, but I like to say about how my job here is to get both of the cards we turned face up and in the middle of the deck to be matching. I, the magician, so I pick up the participants' deck first, just because you do have this little mess going on here. But the participant can actually use your deck just because you have that one card. So I say, okay, let's see what card you turned face up. And you want to be careful how you deal here. You could deal one card at a time. Just be careful that you don't spread over two cards. But how I did it was I had the cards raised just like this, so they only see the front, and I pushed these off in groups of two. And here is the what I'm seeing exposed. So when I push off in groups of two, I will be able to tell. So that's a card I forgot to turn over from the start, but you will actually be able to see when the 2 pops up, okay? Because when you push over 2 cards, you will see that 2 right underneath, or you will run into it like this. So when I'm here and I see the 2 finally, I bring it down and I say, okay, we have the 2 of hearts, and you just want to take the 2 off. Be careful, however, because of this card at the bottom here. So what I do is I raise my hand up and then I peel off the 2 and I set it down. If you're squared up, you can bring the half back down. And just to get rid of this card, I pick up the cards from the table, casually drop them on top, and put the deck down. I put the 2 on top and I don't show the back yet. I then have the participant deal through my half too. So let's say they deal through my half and they come to the 2 of hearts. Make sure they don't turn over the back, but doesn't matter how they do this. So after they see it's a match, that's going to be the first reveal that you both were able to get the Two of Hearts, once you are ready, you can say, actually, I want to take this one step further. You can say anything you want, do any sort of gesture, and then when they turn over one card, they're going to see with the black deck is the white card, and with the white deck is the black card, and that is the effect. So I hope you really enjoyed this effect. If you are new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time with a new video. Bye.